guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm still here at the 2024 edition of the Chicago Auto Show, and of course, one vehicle that I wound up missing at the LA Auto Show because we ran out of time, but now I'm able to keep my promise and bring it to you, is this vehicle right here. What is this? This is your refresh, updated, changed up 2024 Hyundai Sonata N-Line. But before we get into this performance spec of the Sonata lineup, let's talk about what's going on here. When you think Hyundai, there are some names that have been in their lineup for so many years. You think of Santa Fe, it's been around since the year 2000. Well, guess what? Sonata actually predates that. Goes into the 1990s. Originally, it was all about the Hyundai Excel, but thankfully they dropped that and have built a portfolio of not just sedans with the Sonata and the Elantra, but also when it comes to SUVs. And now they have their EV lineup with the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6. What I want to find out is, though, if you're looking for a mid-size SUV that has a little bit extra oomph, is the Sonata N-Line, with the changes they made, the way to go over the competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into the new Sonata N-Line and find out. Right off the bat, this color. I'm really digging it at the Chicago Auto Show, under the show lights, and of course, right off the bat, where the changes are going to start are at the front end of the business. Notice how they've taken a page from some of their other models. So now you're going to have the DRL, the daytime running lamp, that runs all the way across the brow of the front end of the Sonata N-Line. You're going to have beautifully sorted LED headlights in this nice little lower pod, and then down below are your turn signals with functional air curtains. Very nicely done. The only thing I would change is smooth this out here. We don't need to have a fake looking grille. And then down below you have more functionality on the corner there. Now as we come across the nose, follow the flat black. You know how normally Dorothy was supposed to follow the yellow brick road? Follow the flat black road all the way across the center. Look at the new look, the new style of the N-Line. Of course, we have an N-Line badge, and this is not a true N performance vehicle, but it definitely has that turbocharged power pack punch. One of the things I was hoping that they would add is a limited slip differential to this front wheel drive midsize sedan, but they didn't. So that to me is a zonk, but this style, the gloss black with the flat black, fully functional as we work our way down, and then you have just a little bit of this gunmetal gray finish to give it a little bit of extra oomph, a little extra pizzazz to this all new front end. Now, as we rise up, you have that flush mounted Hyundai badge, nice little bit of a bulge going on, and underneath the hood is still gonna be the same power plant, 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, pumping out 290 horsepower, and it's still mated to an 8-speed DCT, dual clutch transmission. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, if we have some new bodywork, we gotta have some new wheels. Check out our all new style on this Sonata N-Line. So I'm really digging how they went with the flat black, the machined aluminum, wrapped in these Pirelli P0 tires on this 19-inch wheel, looking really, really sporty, and has still that Hyundai look to it. You do have the N badge on your center cap, and like I said, this is specifically front-wheel drive. This vehicle is not all-wheel drive. Now, one of the things I've always liked is how they do the indentation around the fender opening, just to give it a little bit of extra style. And then as we come down the side, another nice touch is how they have the side marker lights now with the N-Line badge on the fender. So it's not just about changing the nose, which a lot of brands do that on a regular basis. They've actually made some pretty substantial changes in this area. Now, coming down the side of the vehicle, we have gloss black on the mirror caps. And then you'll notice on this particular example, we do have a ginormous panoramic glass roof, and I'm loving the way they blacked out the whole roof area. On the side skirt, you can see how that extension works its way back, and it's that gunmetal gray finish. I'm gonna have Lori kind of angle it and show it to you as she comes towards the rear, how it flares out. Really, really nice. That's real functional aero. And then even the way they did the door handles, body color with just a little bit of gloss black. These are the touches that I really feel has elevated Hyundai. And it's one of those things that if you haven't been in a new Hyundai, much different from years past. Now, working our way towards the tail end of the business, you're still gonna have those vortex generators built into the top of the rear end. That's gonna clean up air that comes over the back. And just like up front, they redesigned the rear trunk lid and lower bumper area. So you have your full LED lighting. Love the way it's all encased in this plastic housing. The Sonata name nicely flushed to the rear trunk. And then as we work our way down, you're now getting quad tip exhausts on the Sonata N-Line. Love the slash cut, nice large oval opening with those stainless steel tips. And of course that simulated rear diffuser. But why don't we go ahead, wow, look at the way they got the kick up here. I was almost about to skip this part. Nice little kick up to the back of the trunk, functional aero. Don't have to put a big wing on it like a Camry TRD. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what changes are in store for this 2024 Sonata. All right guys, we're inside this 2024 updated, changed up Sonata N-Line. I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I'm sick of my SUV. Every time I look at it, I want to vomit. I'm so tired of driving it. I want something sporty, but I also have kids and I don't want to drive around in an Elantra N. I am liking the Sonata N-Line being a midsize. How much is it though? Very good question. MSRP for this vehicle is right at $35,960. Let's see how it compares to the competition. To the door panels. Love the clean style. You do have soft touch material all the way around. Nice dark aluminum finish. Bose sound system. Look at that tweeter speaker grill cover up top. Very classy. The red stitching on the armrest and in the middle. And then the door pocket is large enough easily for 4 Chicago-style burritos and a nice bottle of Mountain Dew to wash it down. Now, when you're going from the door panel to the dash, the stitching, I love this material. It's not like carbon fiber. It just has a nice finish to it, not gloss black. Look at the ambient lighting in here. Nice red finish. And then we even have more ambient lighting underneath the new infotainment system. 2 12.3-inch screens, full touchscreen capability that you're used to, navigation, the whole shabam. Obviously, I'm at the auto show and we can't show you much of anything on the screen, but at least I could show you how it operates. We could check the weather. We'll go into Blue Link. It's got the whole 9 yards. It's connecting right now. We're gonna make a phone call. Working our way down. You do have your you do have your start stop button right here. Nicely done. And then of course you have your radio controls, which I'm gonna lower that voice. He's talking to me, it's bothering me. Nice on the switchgear. Dual climate control. This all lights up when the vehicle is being driven. Obviously we're at the show, so it doesn't show anything. Down below you have USB-Cs and wireless charging and a place for 3 Twinkies. Your drive mode selector button, you just hit that to go through your different drive modes. A place for your Slim Jims, nicely placed. And then on the side here, you have this little compartment just for the passenger. This is where you're gonna put a box of Good and Plenty and just slide it in there for later. 2 cup holders. I like the way they have this nice little palm rest with the stitching. Soft touch material, lift it up. You know when you go to the movies, how you have to sneak candy in because you don't want to pay $20 for a box of M&Ms? You could easily go to the dollar store and put 10 boxes of candy. Get the snow caps, get the M&Ms, keep them there, and then sneak them into the movie theater. If you get busted, do not throw me under the bus. That's your fault. You're not being sneaky enough. Seats, I love the style, the leather material, the end embroidery, nice microfiber suede material, great bolstering, manual controls for the passenger. I have electric assist because I'm the man in charge behind the wheel, and that panoramic sunroof that I told you about. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you behind the wheel and the 12.3 inches I have to just basically put in your face on this dash. Come on over. All right, guys, we're inside this refreshed 2024 Sonata N-Line pedal box. Hyundai does it well. Nice large aluminum dead pedal, aluminum brake pedal and throttle. You have your seat controls, fingertip reach. I love the way you can control the bolstering. And then I'm 6 feet tall, and this is the benefit of this being a mid-size SUV, a mid-size sedan. It feels like sedans don't even exist anymore, but I'm sitting in one. Lots of room, even with the glass roof. Please excuse the dinging noise. We're at the auto show, and that's just the way it goes. New steering wheel. Love the different types of leather, the perforated, the smooth. You do have now the new updated Hyundai badge that actually is H in Morse code. Flat black on the switchgear. You do have paddles for the 8-speed DCT, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. I promised you 12.3 inches, and I'm here to deliver. Smack dab, there it is. I can't show you the whole screen because we can't drive right now, but stay tuned because we will be bringing it to you. And you'll notice down below here is where they move the transmission selector. So this is where you're going to drive, reverse. It's on the column. So interesting how we used to be all column shifters. Then they moved away from column shifters to have console shifters. And now we're going back to column shifters. Talk about the circle of life when it comes to shifting transmissions. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat because I promise you there's room for your friends as you take them for a spin in your N-Line. All right guys, back seat time. And this is one of the things, like I said, if you sit in an Elantra N, which remember the Elantra N is a true N performance vehicle, you're gonna have more performance, but there's less room. And I like the amount of room that's in the back of this midsize sedan. Now, there's no pocket behind the driver. So if you have a pineapple, you're gonna have to hold it in between your legs. And if you're a guy, that's gonna cause some problems, especially if you wanna have kids down the road. In the back, no AC vents, but you do have 2 USB-Cs. I have a little bit of a cargo net here, which I'm gonna zonk because if I wanted to put something sharp in there, like a dagger or a throwing star, or maybe a little hatchet, it's gonna rip right through there. But the good news is I got the headroom and we have an armrest. Now I'm not saying it's soft because it's not. It's sort of like they took a rock and wrapped it in this leather style material. Not very soft, but it's large and you got 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's wrap it up with the trunk and I'll prove to you, you don't need a damn SUV. You could drive a midsize Sonata N-Line. All right guys, time to get in the trunk. How do I do it? Guess what? They hit it so nicely. Look at that. Nicely hit the button right in the kick-up rear spoiler area. Hit that, opens right up. You're gonna be greeted to more than 16 cubic feet of space. I like how low the cargo floor is. Of course, the seats are gonna do that 60-40 split, but this shows you, you could have that great usability. You don't need an SUV. You could have that lower center of gravity, turbocharged power, 8-speed DCT, 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds with this Sonata N-Line and the new sporty look. And you got the flexibility to take the kids to school, pick them back up, go on a family trip, and make it extra fun. But definitely glad that we were finally able to track one of these down. Stay tuned because we're gonna be doing a full driving review, the first drive very soon. That's gonna be coming to the channel. But if you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Right family. Of course, we need to give it up. LG Raiti, she's pushing herself to the limits because she knows that you guys deserve it. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.